Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. So today we're going to see how to integrate with Business Central with third-party application. So I am going to use web services. In Business Central we have three types of web services: API, OData, and SOAP. So in my example I'm going to show I'm going to show the API web services. So we'll start. So first the thing, so we need to create a table for that. So I'm creating a custom API. For creating a table I'm using ChatGPT, so which is open API, open AI, so where it teaches how to AL program, AL programming. So we'll see so how it responds for the sentences which for creating tables, pages, API pages, those kind of things. So let's start. So we'll be going to ChatGPT. So here this is the open AI ChatGPT where you guys need to sign in. Say for example I need to create a table for API. So we'll give an instruction for the ChatGPT: create new table, car model including field captions, name as text of 100, description of text 100, brand ID of UID, power of integer, power has integer, description as text of width and also include key with name, brand ID, AL language. So we'll see how it responds for this. Okay, fine. It's creating table, it's table ID, table name, there's the classification, name, description, brand ID, power keys, name and brand ID. So here is the instruction we are giving the AI. So this is the response we are getting from AI. So it's creates whatever the field we are mentioning in the instruction. So it creates a table with that fields, name, description, brand ID, power, and also includes this primary key. So we'll copy this code, and even it this explains the regarding the table, fields, and also with the primary key. That's a good tool. So we'll go to VS Code. So here I have created small project. So in this I'll create a table, car model table.al. So I'll copy that snippet which we have created in OpenAI. So now it's perfect. So whatever the syntax, there is no problem in this code. So we'll try to create page for that. So list page. So let's see how. Create new page, page type list, car models using source table, car model. So here I'm telling to the AI to create the page type list using this source table as a car model. So let's see what's the response we are getting from the AI. So here's the example code snippet for creating new page type list for okay, area is correct, repeater, I think it should be like page, not a page extension, and it extends, and this not should be a data. I think there is some sentence instruction wrong. We'll try to give some other. So we made a mistake in this, so in the instruction, so we'll try to give a proper one. So create new page of type list, car models using source table, car model in AL language. Let's hope this time we get the correct response. Snippet of page list is, I think it's page of this is the number ID, car models page type list, source table, repeater, but again we are getting data as it should be column. Sorry, this should not be there. Column name, description, brand ID, power. So I think for the AI, I think this should be a little bit improvement. Maybe I'm giving a wrong instruction, or we need to give a specific instruction for that. So we'll copy this, or we'll go to VS Code and we'll try this new AL wizard page. So object name will be car models. Source table is a car model, and this should be a list. All usage category list. So next, so I'll include this name, description, brand ID, and power. Okay, finish. So now we got a page type list, so which is like application area, all, caption, source table, list. Okay, so now we are done with the list page. This is my name. Okay, also we'll create a page type API, which is a custom API page for this car model API. So source table will be a car model, API page type. So I'll be giving the publisher name as a test demo, and version I'll be giving 2.0. car model, entity set name will be car models. Okay, so whatever the property we are giving here. Next, so I'll be selecting name, description, name, description, brand ID, and the power. Finish. So now we need to check there is no word data key fields, word data key fields, which it will be mapping to the system ID or the fields. It's act as a reference to the field. Name, take field ID, record.system ID, caption as ID. So I'll save this. So I'll give mapping to the I need to give you a system ID. So basically I'm done with the table, the page, and the API page. So we are done. So we'll publish to the Business Central. So it got published. So we'll check with the API, sorry, car model page. name. Okay, so all right, so the fields are there. Okay, now we are ready with the U custom API page. So we need to create a URL for that. So we need to follow the Microsoft guide format how to create that custom URL. So I'll go to here. So this is the syntax, this is the format which we need to follow. So from here, so this is I'm using 2.2 and the user domain name. So this is nothing but the tenant ID of your sandbox, and the API. So I'm giving it sandbox and API. So API publisher is like test, and API group is demo, and the API is v.0 sorry 2.0, and the car models. So instead of car models, here we need to give for specific companies, we need to add the companies, then we need to give our entity name here. So we'll see in that Postman services. First we need to register our app in Azure Active Directory. So we'll see how to register our app in Azure Active Directory. So we'll go to this is Azure Active Directory. So we need to go to Azure Active Directory page. In this, so there is app registration. So here we need to go to app registration. So in app registration, so I have created already one app. So if you are creating new, so you need to click on new registration. Of here, when you click that new registration, you need to give as a name, say for example demo, and you need to select supported account types, whether it is for single tenant or multi-tenant and personal account. So you need to select here. So I'll be selecting this as a single tenant. So in the platform, this is optional anyhow, but it's better to give for the redirected URL. For this URL, so you need to give us this sandbox. Then once you've done it, this you need to click on register. So if you click on register, your app registration will be done there. So once your app registration has been created, you need to go to app. So in this app, you'll be getting client ID. So this it is required for to connection. So once you find this creation of app, so you'll be getting this client ID, and you need to go to certificates and secrets. So here you need to generate new certificates and secret for the secret ID. So for that, here there is a new client secret ID, sorry, new client secret. If you click on that, you need to give a name for that and also the expiration of your secret. So once you, based on your requirement, if you select that, so click on add. So once you add that, so it will be updating here. So this is the value which you need to copy once it is generated. So this is required while connecting to the web services. Once this is done, you guys need to go to API permissions. In the API permissions, you need to add permissions. There are two types. In the add permissions, you need to select business central, and here based on the requirement, whether you require that signed in users uh, permission, so you go for delegated. If you require it to run in the background sign in, so then you can go for application permissions. So based on your requirement you can select here, so and give a permission for that. Here also you can select the permission based on the requirement. You can select your permissions here. So once this is done, so you click on the add permissions. So once if you add that permissions, so it will be here, so in the dynamic whatever the name you are giving. So if you see any warnings, so it should be all in a green right mark. So if you see any warnings for grant, so then you need to click on this grant admin constant. So if you click on that, it will be giving access for that. So this is the app registration for OAuth 2.4. Once this is done, so you need to go to for Postman. So in the Postman, so here there is authorization. In authorization, so you need to go for OAuth 2.0. In the OAuth 2.0, if when selecting in this, you need to grant type as select as client credential and access token URL. This token URL will be in a app registration. So if we go to here overview, so in the overview we'll be finding that endpoints. So in the endpoints you can find this token endpoint. So you need to copy this endpoint and give in the access token URL. Then client ID, you need to select from this is the client ID you need to copy, and this client secret, so which you are copied in secret, this value you need to copy and paste here. So once this is done, so you need to go for scope. Scope is nothing but you need to give us API business central dynamics.com default. So once this is set up as done, you can check for the connection. So you need to get new access token. So once you get the access token, you need to proceed with that access token, use this token. So now we are done with the connection. So once this connection is established, so now we'll check for that get API, so which we followed the URL to create. So this is the format, so I copied and paste here. So we'll check for the companies. Bad request resource not found for the companies. What we have made in this, so API unauthorized, just now we are authorized. Okay, so now we have got, so the same API, so dynamics version, and this is my tenant ID, which is my tenant ID, sandbox US API test demo and version, and this is the companies. So if it will give the list of companies, so now the connection is works fine. So we'll go for the particular company, and we'll see how it works. Now perfect, so it gives the particular company, so which is Kronos USA. So now we'll go for that company. So I'll go for companies. We have Kronos USA in my company, so it's drawing perfect. Now if I go to car model, I don't see any record, so this I'll delete. There is no record, so we'll check for the car models. So it's perfect. So now it's the API works fine, but there is no value. Since there is no value, it's returning as a value black. So we'll add some values in this. New, I'll generate some UID. So I'll copy this UID, paste here. Description I'll give as a test connection. So name as API BMW of 100. BMW of 100. So now we have created one record in the business central and check in the postman service. Sorry, the current permission prevented the action. So for this scenario, so we are getting a permission issues, then we'll go for the business central. There you need to generate a permission set. For that, this is the action. If you press Ctrl Shift P, so there is a generate permission set, has AL object containing current extensions objects. So when you click on that, so you can give a name for that, car models, model permission. Now we got the permission set for that. Once this permission is generated, so we need to publish to the business central. It's taking a few minutes. Okay, perfect. It got, so now it's published. So we'll go to Azure Active Directory. So in this, you guys need to create new Azure Active Directory connection for this. So in this, you need to create add the client ID which you have created, which you have registered in Azure app. So this ID you need to give here and give the description, and you need to enable here. So once you enable this, so you'll get the connection for that. Yes, so this is already I have done the client ID and the description. So you need to give here the user group access, so whatever the access you require, permissions for that based on your requirement you can give here. So once this is done, so I need to give a permission set here which we have generated to access that custom API URL, so which we have created that car model permission set. So done. So and I'll be giving the permission for this company. So once this is done, so we'll go back to postman. So we'll check this. Yes, now we are retrieving the value from business center. So this is how we are going to do the API integration in business central, and how we are going to use the OAuth 2.0, and how we are going to register in Azure Active Directory, and in from Azure Active Directory we need to set in business central also based on the client ID. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe my channel if you like this video. Thank you.